Chapter 1: The Arrival. The carriage wheels screeched to a halt outside Blackmoor Hall, shrouded in mist and secrets. Thunder rolled in the distance as I stepped down, the chill in the air biting through my cloak. I was no stranger to misfortune, but even I knew stepping into the Duke of Blackmoor's estate meant inviting danger. They called him the Devil Duke. Alaric Thorne. A recluse. A man with a reputation as dark as the obsidian ring he wore, said to have killed a man in a duel over a woman, whispered to have seduced half the ton before disappearing behind the thick iron gates of his ancestral estate. And now I was to be his ward's new governess. The butler greeted me with a bow. "Miss Eliza Darrow. His Grace is expecting you." I stiffened. "He knows I've arrived?" "Oh yes, miss. He knows everything that enters his domain." As I followed the butler through candlelit corridors, I felt him before I saw him, that oppressive heat, the way the air itself seemed to pulse. Then there he was at the landing, tall and lean in dark velvet, his presence devouring the space like a wolf among lambs. "My lord," I curtsied, keeping my voice even despite my thudding heart. "Miss Darrow," he said, his voice low, decadent, and dangerous. "You are late." "A storm, your grace." "I do not tolerate excuses. Only results." His eyes roved over me, slow and unapologetic. "But I suppose I can make an exception just this once." He turned and descended the stairs, every step echoing power and control. God help me, I thought. I may have just stepped into the lion's den. Chapter 2: The Seduction. The days passed, strange and stifling. I barely saw the Duke except from afar, in the stables with the stallions, on the cliffs at dawn, or in the library reading ancient tomes, a glass of brandy in hand. And yet I felt him always. One night, a book had drawn me into the candlelit library, and I hadn't noticed him until his voice sent a chill down my spine. "Most women don't read Sade." I gasped, the book slipping from my hand. He approached like smoke, his gaze falling to my exposed collarbone where the edge of my nightrobe had slipped. "But then you don't strike me as like most women, Miss Darrow." "I couldn't sleep," I said, reaching to pull the robe closed. He caught my wrist. "Why hide what tempts?" he murmured. "Tell me, does danger frighten you? I wouldn't be here if it did." That made him smile, a wicked, devastating thing. He closed the distance, his fingers brushing a lock of hair from my cheek. "I have spent years keeping people at arm's length, Eliza. But you walk into my house like a flame, and I find myself aching to be burned." His mouth captured mine with a violence that stole my breath. I moaned into the kiss, hands fisting in his shirt as he pressed me against the wall of books, his thigh slipping between mine. I was drowning in him, the heat of his mouth, the sharp scrape of his stubble, the scent of leather and danger. "Tell me to stop," he rasped. But I didn't. I couldn't. Chapter 3: The Claim. The fire roared beside us as he laid me across the velvet chaise. My robe had fallen open, and his eyes drank me in like I was a feast after famine. "You have no idea what you're doing to me," he growled. "Then show me," I whispered. He undressed slowly, deliberately, a man used to being worshipped, feared, obeyed. When he bared himself, I gasped at the sheer beauty of him. Powerful. Sculpted. Every inch carved by the gods and kissed by sin. He knelt before me, parting my thighs with reverence and hunger. His tongue was velvet fire, making me cry out his name, my fingers digging into his thick dark hair. And then he was over me, inside me, moving with such intensity one thought I might break apart. "Mine," he whispered against my neck. "Every inch of you. Every breath." I wrapped my legs around him, hips rising to meet every thrust. "Yes, yours." Our cries echoed through the halls, and when we shattered, it was like the storm itself had entered us, crashing in waves of pleasure and possession. Chapter 4: The Morning After. Dawn spilled across the bed as I stirred in his arms. He was already awake, watching me, fingers tracing idle circles on my back. "You should hate me," he murmured. "I'm not the man you think I am." "You're more," I whispered. "You're the man I want." His lips quirked. "Then you're a fool." "Maybe." But I'd rather be a fool in your arms than wise in another's. He cupped my cheek, kissed me like I was something precious, and I knew. This dangerous man, feared and hunted by whispers, had given me a piece of himself no one else had seen. Epilogue: The Dangerous Duke. Weeks passed. We kept up the pretense of decorum by day, but at night he became mine, fierce and possessive and insatiable. And I, once a simple governess, was now the fire he could not live without. At a grand ball, his hand claimed mine as whispers spread like wildfire. "You shouldn't have touched her," one lord sneered behind his cup. "She's beneath you." The Duke smiled, deadly calm. "Then perhaps it's time to lift her up." Before the crowd, he dropped to one knee. Gasps echoed. "Eliza Darrow, you made a dangerous man fall in love. Marry me." My heart thundered. Yes. And so the Devil Duke was tamed, not by chains or fear, but by the one thing he never expected. Love. Wild. Consuming. And dangerously eternal.